Hello everyone and welcome to the channel of Sigma Plus Industrial Solutions. In that video, we're going to talk about the cost savings calculation and the types of the savings, either it is a hard or a soft saving. And we will take an example about the capacity utilization percentage and how can we demonstrate soft savings behind improvement in the capacity utilization. So first of all, we need to understand what's the meaning of a cost saving. So the cost saving can be a monetary reduction from a financial budget as a result of the implementation of a set of improvement actions. And it is something easily recognized by a cost controller by just looking to the financial statement sheet, and then he or she can see the gap between the actual cost and the budget, and based on that we can demonstrate and we can report the hard cost saving. In fact, there is another type of the savings, which we call it the soft savings. And the soft savings could be presented to the organization in example of some benefits like improvement in the safety environment or improvement in the level of the customer satisfaction, or even the improvement in the capacity utilization percentage, which is considered to be a soft saving. And that's what we're going to discuss in details in a couple of minutes. Okay, sometimes the soft savings could be called also avoidance cost saving, and sometimes they are called avoidance cost saving when the savings are related to some avoidance, risk avoidance. Let me give you an example. Suppose that the last 3 years you've been managing some projects that every time you close the project, you encounter an overrun cost on the operation expenses. But this time, you have implemented a new set of improvement actions. And when you closed the project and you've been reviewing the financial results with the cost controller, you have observed that there is no anymore overrun cost, but the budget still the same. Okay, so you have avoided overrun cost due to implementation of good improvement actions, right? So this is a kind of soft savings. Some examples that I would like to share with you about the hard cost saving. Like, for example, the procurement department, when they are negotiating with the suppliers to get reduction in the price of the materials, which at the end will lead to improve the margin of the project. This is considered to be a hard saving. Or another example, imagine a design team, they have provided a smart design solution that could lead to buy cheaper cost materials that, of course, and while maintaining the same level of the design requirement and functionality. Of course, such a step will help to improve the margin of the project because you will reduce the materials. Or even if you are a production manager and you have implemented some lean tactics, one-piece flow Kanban or pool Kanban system that led to have a faster delivery and less working hours. That kind of actions will lead to have a healthy cash flow, a less operation expenses that at the end will drop in the financial basket with positive results. All of those actions are considered to be reported under the term of hard cost saving because it will drop in the basket of reduction, tangible reduction in from the budget, from the financial budget. While, as we have mentioned, the soft savings are something that cannot be easily recognized by the cost controller because it doesn't have any tangible effect on the budget. Okay, so let's understand now how can we demonstrate a cost saving. So suppose that you are requested to describe the business performance of your functional department in front of the managerial department. And you need to show evidence that the business in your department had improved compared to the last year. So as a golden rule, to describe the performance, to describe the cost savings, you need to show an operational or financial KPI. And the KPI here is a short term for the key performance indicator. And this is a quantifiable value describing the business performance in different sectors, like in the quality, in the safety, in the operation, in the financial way. Okay, so those kind of KPIs are mainly used between the managerial department and the managers to monitor how the business performance is doing. And in that video, we're gonna take one sample of those KPIs, which is the capacity utilization percentage. And we're gonna discuss how can we generate soft savings from improving the capacity utilization percentage. There will be also 3 other KPIs that we will discuss about it in later on in other videos, which are the inventory percentage, the cash flow, and the cost of the sales. Capacity. The capacity is known to be the maximum potential output of any organization. And the capacity utilization is the ratio of the actual output out of the maximum potential output. And this is an efficient, the measurement of how efficiently we are managing our resources to get the maximum output of the organization. So let's take an example. That example describes the performance of a certain factory, where we can see how that factory have been efficiently utilizing the resources and what could be the reported losses in the capacity utilization. So the shown table displays the actual units produced by a factory in the year of 2021. Considering the production time budget per unit produced is 100 hours. It means that each unit to be produced require 100 hours to be produced. The production hourly cost is $45. The unit revenue is $100,000, and the EBIT percentage is 7% of the profit percentage. We need to calculate the monetary loss due to the less efficient capacity utilization. So we have summarized all the information in that table. In 2021, the factory has a pool capacity of 600 units. The actual produced were 553, which means that we had a capacity utilization percentage of 92% by dividing the 553 units over the 600. Okay, and the budget of the production hours to produce one unit is 100. The total production budgeted hours is 60,000 hours, which is the 100 hours multiplied with the 600. And the total production actual hours that what have been actually spent is $55,300 out of the 60,000. Okay, we just please note that we to make it so simple, we have just multiplied the 553 units with the 100 hours, which was giving you the actual hours. But in fact, in the real life, do not be surprised if you might have more than 55,300. Maybe it could be even exceeding the 60,000, depending upon the status of the production activities. Okay, the total production budget cost was $2.7 billion. And this is what was actually spent by the factory for the goal of producing 600 units. And here we are speaking about fixed cost. The factory spent the money for fixed salaries of the workers, and so they spent a total of $2.7 million, which was the cost of the 60,000 hours. while we have produced only 553 units instead of 600. And how did we get to the 2.7 million? Because we have already an information that the hourly cost is $45. Okay, so just by multiplying the 45 with the 600, so we know that the budget for investment in the factory is $2.7 million. Okay, but in fact we have produced actually 553 units, which costed 2.4 or 2.5 approximately $1 million, which means that there had been a value of 211.5 KUSD, which were not effectively utilized. Okay, this is the cost of the slippage hours that we didn't effectively utilize, and it's also called the under absorption cost. So this is the first portion in calculating the loss due to the less efficient capacity utilization. Okay, so we have reported an under absorption hour of 4,700 hours, which is simply can be found by subtracting 55,300 from the 600. Okay, it will give you the 4,700 hours multiplied with $45. It will give you $211.5 thousand. Okay, but from the other side, if I wanted to calculate even the lost sales opportunity, there had been 47 units that could be produced, but I didn't do it. And those 47 units could generate a revenue of $4.7 million, since that the unit sale equal to $100,000. Okay, and if I consider that the EBIT is 7%, that means that I lost an EBIT that could be a cash income to the company of $329,000. Okay, so what we have done here, that we calculated the two portions of the losses related to the less efficient capacity utilization. The first one was the under absorption cost, which was found to be $211.5 thousand. The second one was the lost opportunity in doing extra revenue, and has resulted a loss in the EBIT of about $329,000. So I can say that the total loss in the capacity utilization is $540.5 thousand. Okay, so what is the reason behind calculating this is that I will use it as a baseline measurement. So when I start next step to find out the root causes of the less efficient utilization of my capacity, and I start to set up improvement action, after the implementation of the improvement actions, I need to compare the results. I want to see how efficiently I improve the capacity utilization and see the difference in the value of the losses, if it decreased or no. Okay, so the next step that we need to do after that we have we have measured the value of the loss due to the less efficient capacity utilization, is to try to summarize the potential causes that could affect badly on the capacity utilization. So one of the potential causes could be related to the material planning. We don't have a realistic forecast date for the deliveries of the materials, which we are affecting badly on the production activities by creating waiting time that could be a couple of days or even week, and that definitely was eating from the production capacity. Or maybe we might have a less efficient communication planning between the stakeholders and the functional departments. And certain information could be very critical and important for the manufacturing or for the production. Like, for example, delay in receiving manufacturing drawing or wrong information. Also, those kind of causes could affect on the time of the production. Even when it comes to the time estimation for the production activities, sometimes as a production guy, I'm requested to make some time study for the activities, but I know that activity is consuming approximately 2 hours, but to make myself more relaxed and away from any risk, I put 3 hours. But the problem is that when the cost controller will take your time estimation, and you've been putting long padding time. Padding time means safety time. Okay, the problem is that the company will book a budget, a financial budget for that padding time that will not be effectively utilized in the production. And after that, what we're going to observe is that the actual hours reported and the actual cost reported of the production might be less than the budget with 25%. Those 25% could be reserved from the beginning, could be secured from the beginning by creating a realistic budget based on the information that you have sent to the cost controller from the time estimation. Okay, one of the other potential causes of having a less capacity utilization could be related to the quality yield of the design and the manufacturing. Too many errors are coming to the design, leading to rework and wasting time till that we find the root causes of the error that occurred in the design. And this is also one of the causes that could affect on the production time. And one of the most important causes could be the forecast of the sales team. You see, when we manage the forecast of the demand for the next 6 months, the sales team is sometimes providing the forecast of the demand within the next 6 months. So let me give you an example. Imagine if there is a sales team who give a forecast that we're going to produce approximately 100 units on a monthly basis for the next 6 months. But after the completion of the 6 months, you discover that the average produced per month was 70 units. So you have lost about 30% of your capacity because of a non-realistic forecast of the demand raised by the sales team. So at the time that you capture all the potential causes and you found evidence what were the real confirmed root causes of the problem, you start to set up the improvement actions. And then after that, you start to set up the monitoring and control actions, monitoring the materials on time delivery to ensure that you have a better improved material planning, monitoring and controlling the scheduling efficiency, so you can ensure that you have improved the time estimation and the communication with the stakeholders, and monitoring the quality yield to ensure that you have reduced the errors and the mistakes coming from the design or from the manufacturing that we are causing, wasting time in the production. Or even the most important point is to monitor and control the forecast efficiency coming from the sales team to make sure that the forecast of the demand became more realistic. So imagine now that you have already implemented those actions and you have closed the second year, and it's the time that you are comparing the results between the last year and the new year. So the tabulated form summarized the data of the next year. So the budget didn't change. It's 600 units per year. You have actually reported in 2022 587 units, which means that you have reported a 98% capacity utilization, which means that you have improved your capacity utilizations and reduced the non-utilized working hours by approximately 6%. Okay, the budget production hours per hour didn't change, it's 100, so you have the same budget of working hours, 60,000. The actual cost of the production was 58,700. So you have reduced the under absorption hours to for about 3,400 hours. So the under absorption production cost reduced from $211.5 thousand to $58.5 thousand and created a soft saving of 153. Okay, so if you multiply the 3,400 hours with the $45, it will give you the value of $153,000. The total production budget cost didn't change. The production actually cost jumped from 2.4 million to 2.6 million to produce the 587 units, and you have created a soft saving of $153,000. Okay, so this is the first portion of your calculation. You have calculated the soft savings of the under absorption cost, which had reduced of about 3,400 hours. Now the second portion is to see how did we manage the lost opportunities of creating additional revenues. So last year in 2021, you have lost 47 units that could generate 4.7 million. This year you have lost 13 units, which could generate $1.3 million revenue. So what you have done this year, that you have secured $3.4 million as a revenue, and creating an additional an EBIT. You have secured, I will not say an additional EBIT, because if it is an additional, that will be exceeding the plan of the EBIT and the revenue. But in fact, this is also within the plan that targets of the business, right? So you have secured $3.4 million and created a soft saving of $238,000, which is the EBIT, the 7% profit out of the $3.4 million. So as a conclusion, we can say that the total amount of saving, and here we say soft savings, because this is not something exceeding the expectation or exceeding the target or reducing in the budget. The budget is the same. It doesn't have any tangible effect on the budget. So that's why we mention it's soft saving. So as a conclusion, the total amount of saving or the soft saving behind the improvement done in the capacity utilization is the sum of $238,000 plus the $153,000, which is the savings behind the reduction of the under absorption hours, and it's equal to $391,000, which is the total sum of the savings due to the improvement in the capacity utilization. I thank you for your good listening and watching. I hope you got useful information today. Please feel free to come back with me to me with any comments you'd like. I will be happy to reply to all your comments. Thank you so much.